And welcome to the May 14th edition of The Diamond Anvil, Too Hard to Smash. What will this episode hold? Well, check it out. We're going to find out the hard way by calling David Moriello, aka Diamond, from Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Let me just adjust the volume a little bit, as it's always interesting to find out what Diamond is up to out there in Colorado, if that's even where he is. We'll let him know that we're recording a show, and we'll come back to that at a later moment. All right, so, by the way, if you haven't been to smAsho.org, check it out. It's, if you type in smAsho.org, you will get redirected to smAsho.com. You can get to the forum from that location, so please do. And if you haven't checked out the forum yet, we've got multiple different forums on the forum. That's right, forums within forums, folks. From cosmology to Earth and geophysics, general science, the sun, a free-for-all, a forum specifically for new users. Apparently some CBD merchants are advertising there. We're trying to figure out if we can do an affiliation with them or not. Who knows? One of the subjects you may want to read about is hashtag COVIDiots. Have you heard about Indians using metal tool to grab social distancing dissidents? I can't get enough of that one. So yeah, in India, that's a thing. If you've got some COVIDiotic stories to share with us, such as maybe, I don't know, your state governor doing ridiculous things, who knows? Post it up there at smashamash.com/forum. And let me just take a moment to read about the mission, because some people may be a little confused as to what the purpose of our videos is. The purpose is to assist study and report on the ongoing formation of a unified theory of physics, as opposed to what we have going on now, a bunch of highly confused people arguing with each other about things that are clearly not observationally real, hence the subject matter in the daily space weather, the cosmology segments, and other videos. Number 2, to raise the awareness of the general public. In other words, it's a philanthropy mission, folks, because until you can get your local, state, and national representative to understand the relationship between space weather and Earth effects, you certainly will not be able to get resources allocated appropriately to get people to stop doing stupid things and start doing smarter things. Number 3, we're making videos like this to connect and consult with media organizations, which is of varying degrees of success. Now, as Donald Trump lands in the Lehigh Valley right now, I record a video about how we're connecting and consulting with media organizations such as YouTube and BitChute and twitch.tv/smAshomash, where we usually make these videos live, such as if it's daily space weather. Also, we're doing things like growing tomatoes indoors, giving a little bit of information here and there about how to do so, and increasing the scope of our own, shall we say, powers Also, we're looking to publish scientific papers in a multidisciplinary manner, as we're interested in all of the sciences, whether it's spectroscopy, chemistry, astrophysics. We're not limited to any of those sort of subjects on the screen before you. However, those are kind of important fields. And I won't call anybody out directly in the video, but give me a ring and we'll put an interview for you on the internet. And don't worry, I won't be ultra judgmental. I'll let you say whatever it is you're trying to say. Part of the reason we want to do that is to assist mankind by advancing the study of predictive phenomena, to do things like optimize value, and of course reduce risk and liability, and save lives and resources, and adapt no matter what the adversity is. And of course, as is the case with all legit science, to not be ossified in our beliefs, and to treat those who are with love, respect, and inclusion to the scientific discussion. Now, why is that a thing? Well, that's a thing because we don't necessarily want to see people fired or anything like that just because they've choked on the science that they're purveying. The data being gathered by people that don't understand what the data that they're gathering means is still entirely useful data. So that's the point, folks. If you're ossified in your beliefs, you're not doing science. And so if you are stuck on the belief that these spectra can be emitted by these sort of objects, or that gravity does this and doesn't do that, or that doesn't do this and does do that, well, that could be a problem. Because if new science comes out, such as the science that showing that glass beads get polarized and stick together as opposed to gravity causing accretion, or other science suggesting that stars may produce heavy elements in their atmospheres instead of in their cores, may be something that you should look into. And so, in the spirit of looking into things, we've not only created smAsho.com/forum, but we've written some of the threads because of some of the science that we're interested in. Now, we're not putting anything up yet about the creation of things like sigils. You hear that, Rex Bear? However, we do have a cosmology forum as a direct link at smAsho.com/forum. The cosmology forum, the most. So anyway, if you head to the cosmology forum section of smAsho.com/forum, because we've got forums within forums, there's only one way to do it. It's like writing computer code, folks. So anyway, the cosmology forum includes #COVIDiots, which, by the way, is globally thumbtacked, stickied. It's stickied globally. So all topics have COVIDiots. But the most important topic in cosmology is the most. Because most people don't know anything about the most. So when it comes to the most, the list of the most objects in the cosmos is, shall we say, interesting. For instance, are you aware of what the strongest radio source in the sky is? I'll just take a moment and sit back and have a sip and let you consider what the strongest radio source in the sky is. So if you've got radio antennae and you're doing radio astronomy, what might be the strongest radio source? Well, the correct answer is the sun. What's the second strongest radio source? You may think it would be, I don't know, the Wolf-Rayet star Deneb, otherwise known as Cygnus X3, the most luminous object visible from Earth in the Milky Way galaxy? Nope. Well, how about, I don't know, what about Sagittarius A star? the radio source, the massive radio source, I might add, at the core of the Milky Way galaxy. Well, what if I told you that it was actually Cygnus A, the radio galaxy, believed to be 530 million light years away? Wouldn't that seem kind of weird? Well, that's why we'd make a shirt about it. So the most massive object in the solar system is the Sun, which just happens to also be the most massive radio source. So how is it that a radio source 500 million light years away, when the core of the Milky Way galaxy is probably something like, oh, I don't know, only 60,000 light years away? How would something like that be so much more of a significant radio source than, you see what I'm saying? Cygnus A, massive radio galaxy. And I've got to close that window because I've got it open twice. So anyway, head to smAsho.com/forum and please contribute to the most, because the list of the most when it comes to cosmology is ridiculous. So the most massive object in the solar system obviously is the Sun, followed by Jupiter. What about the most awesome viewers of our videos? That's patrons. How about the most intense steady X-ray source, the Crab pulsar? Once again, you can follow this on the Neil Gorell Swift Bat X-ray Observatory, as well as Sagittarius A, the most massive object known in the Milky Way galaxy, Sagittarius A star. So if you haven't read the forum yet about the most, well, please show up and talk all about the most. It also includes things like the closest stars. What about the most intrinsically bright object in the galaxy? Well, here's one. It's Cygnus X3, the massive X-ray binary. And this particular object consists of a Wolf-Rayet star, which is a giant blue ultra-hot, ultra-active star, which if it were in our solar system would be about the size of Mars's orbit, around which this massive radio source right here orbits at a periodicity of, wait for it, 4.8 hours. Yes. So, if you want to read the studies about this, once again, we more than welcome and invite you to head over to smAsho.com/forum, as there's a whole section in the cosmology section about Cygnus X3, massive X-ray binary. I'm not even going to mention Göbekli Tepe because we've got many more videos to do about Cygnus X3. How come so many ancient megalithic sites are oriented to it? I'm just going to let this scroll, and then I'm going to vanish into thin cosmic ray flux. Now, Cygnus X3 is one of the only known point sources for cosmic rays. An indication that if you are into doing things like forecasting solar activity, I highly suggest that you learn how to forecast Cygnus X3's activity, as there is some sort of relationship, whether it's inversely proportional, or something else, who knows. But the most intrinsically bright object in the entire Milky Way galaxy, and one of the only known, if not the only known, point source for cosmic ray flux, needs to be studied in greater depth. And so we invite you to all get involved. So please leave a comment below the video. And we've got a bunch of articles posted here on the forum. So I'm going to let that scroll for a minute and talk a little bit more about how Cygnus X3 is also the, let's just call it Deneb. So the star Deneb, which means the tail, it's a reference to the tail of the swan, and Deneb is, shall we say, sort of important. And while it emits radio, it seems to be emitting protons, lots of them. And so it's causing particle showers. It circles the North Pole in the Northern Hemisphere all year round. And if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, you most certainly have had protons from a distant star pass through your brain. If that sounds weird, if it sounds like astronomy and cosmology are becoming more like astrology in some ways, well, don't be surprised, because I'm no less freaked out than you are. I'm sitting here going, what? The poloidal fields of these stars mean that we are now inside of the stellar sphere of these other stars while being here because of the way poloidal fields propagate protons throughout space and cause induction in electron-rich environments? Yeah, it's real. So, believe it or not, folks, believe it or not, stars aren't electric. As we've been looking for electric properties in stars for a ridiculous period of time. And by the way, this doesn't look electric. It looks like a particle beam in space. It looks like plasma cosmology, not an electric universe. So anyway, please read all about Cygnus X3 as sources of things like protons, filaments, and especially poloidal fields are kind of important. And let's get off of this topic entirely and switch to ranting about literally anything. So, if you've watched the daily space weather videos, we appreciate that. Thanks to our latest patrons. And this was supposed to be a 1 hour long segment today. We'll see if we can elongate it a little bit. But so far, it looks like it's going to be cutting out a little bit early. Let's see if we can get a call through to Tom at Western Mountain Web. A guy who switched to Linux, and perhaps you should too. Let's see what Tom's got to say, if we can reach Tom. He looks like he's active. Let's try it out and give Tom a ring. And Tom did not answer. So let's just talk a minute about switching to Linux. So I don't know if you're aware, there are a lot of Linux OSs that you can download for free. So for instance, if you have an ancient computer, try Peppermint. The website, peppermintos.com. Got it? If you want to resurrect an old PC, get a thumb drive, hook it up, try it out. peppermintos.com. It's a free OS running Linux with real security and real privacy involved. Now, a Linux OS that I've used is Ubuntu. Now, Tom is not a huge fan of Ubuntu, and we've talked in great depth about this because, let me show you. So this is the website for Peppermint, peppermintos.com. Here's the website for Ubuntu. And the main reason I think, and I don't want to speak for Tom, we're going to get him on the channel momentarily, one of these days or weeks. We're hoping the COVIDiocy ends. Anyway, I think Tom dislikes Ubuntu because it's not as Windows-like. So to me, Peppermint kind of looks like an Android OS. And we're going to try to run this. We're going to try to resurrect the oldest PC you ever saw in your life. and run Peppermint on it, just as a proof of concept that you can take a PC out of the closet, run an old, crappy, terrible, beat-up power source, take an old, terribly crappy, beat-up hard drive and motherboard and get everything to run. Now, my experience in Linux amounts to Ubuntu. So it's another free OS, and it's ubuntu.com. I've used it. I've resurrected PCs with it myself. The recommendation is if you're going to run Linux, currently try running Linux Mint. All right, that's Tom's favorite. I trust him because he seems like he knows what he's talking about. And we're going to install this on a PC soon. So look for an upcoming video here about switching to Linux, linuxmint.com. And there are different desktops you can run, Cinnamon, Mate, and Xface. Perhaps try it out. We'll compare notes. And let's put a general science section on the forum about it too. Linux Mint. I'm going to install it. I actually have, here's one of my external solid state drives here. Let me see if, there you go. It's a little SanDisk drive there. Nothing too exciting. It's a small one. It's only 128 gigabytes. So we're going to be installing an OS probably on that drive after we recover some data and format it. So check that out. We're going to do a video all about that. We'll actually film the PC while we do this process at a later time. Yeah, and I don't have very much to say besides that. So check out the links in the description below the video. We appreciate your patronage, especially our patrons. One thing to check out is soundclick.com/GoldenCatProductions. We've got 16 tracks up there. You can stream them, or you can download them for between $1.25 and 99 cents a piece. Go listen to Molybdenum 99 especially. It's now charted number 68 in the rock category, and it's number 9 on the subgenre instrumental rock. Perhaps check it out. Play it very loud. We have it EQ'd for your blasting pleasure. And let's close things out by putting up one more series of images here. How about some current SDO images of the sun, since it seems to be an ongoing theme on the channel. Let's see what's going on in the past 48 hours. Allow me to vanish. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to the latest edition of The Diamond Anvil, Too Hard to Smash. And look for more content coming soon. And don't forget to check our playlists, our social media links, as there is exclusive content every place you look.